And hello everybody, and welcome to the NYVTmedia Sports Show. I'm your host, Keith Harrington. Our show being brought to you by Greenwich Ford at the traffic circle at the intersections of Route 40 and 29 in Greenwich. Make the switch to Greenwich at Greenwich Ford. And joining me today from the Whitehall Railroader softball team is Blake Bird. And Blake, glad to have you along with me.
Glad to be here.
Now, Blake and I have been talking about this since basketball season. I got to tell the story to start things off here. So I think the Railroaders were playing over in Granville, and I was hanging out with the team before the game, and I said, I've got this new sports show. It just started, and I got to get somebody from Whitehall, from one of the girls' teams on the show. And everybody immediately said, Blake, Blake, are you like the official spokesperson for Whitehall girls athletics? Or?
Yeah, maybe. I think also I'm just pretty chatty. I'm down to have a conversation with anyone, so kind of, yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, because most times when you interview high school students after a game, you have to kind of draw the answer you're looking for out of them, and sometimes that doesn't work. With Blake, I usually ask one question and I get 15 minutes of tape.
There you go.
So, therefore, I think she's the perfect interview guest here to talk about Whitehall softball. So, as we get ready to film this, tomorrow's a semifinal game against Greenwich. You guys have gone unbeaten in the Adirondack League during the season, had a non-league loss to Glens Falls, but a very close game. Some you could say you might have even kind of not dominated the game, but maybe that's a game you could have won for sure. Last year lost twice to Lake George, once in the championship game, once in the sectionals. Now you got that Adirondack League championship. What is the difference this year? Is there any difference from this year to last year? I
definitely think the difference between this year and last year, it's not our skill at all, it's our mentality. I personally think last year, I was kind of going through this, and I was thinking last year we were thinking, all right, we won to them once, we can do it again. But this year I really felt even during the Adirondack League final, Olivia Gates hit that home run, and they're already down 2-0, but that kind of motivated us, all right, this is a game, we need to start fighting. There's no oh, we beat them once already, we just have to continue to fight, and it's not going to be easy, but we ended up doing it. And even those 2 runs, I think they really inspired us to go harder and then get even more hyped up and hype up our other teammates and cheer them on. So
yeah, I agree with you, because I know I was at both games against Lake George. Actually, I was at all 3 Lake George games last year. You guys beat them 4-1. Liv had the big home run. It was the big blow in that game. And then you lost 7-0 in the Adirondack League championship game, 7-0 in the sectional game. And both of those games, I thought, once you guys got behind, you were kind of done.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I think we actually have improved on that a lot this year. We were down to Argyle when we played them, I think 3-0, maybe in the first couple innings, and we came back and we were able to win, and by 4, I think the score was
8-4, yeah.
So I think it's definitely something we've improved on, and even with the Lake George and the Adirondack League finals, not just Lake George, but just us being in the Adirondack finals, we kind of almost, at least I didn't want to be humiliated against, and I can kind of speak for the rest of the team. I have a feeling they felt the same way. That 7-0 loss was wow, we were supposed to do really well, and then we get blown out 7-0, and we were we don't want this to happen again. So we really worked on our mentality, I feel to help us throughout this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought the Argyle game was actually, even though that's a game you probably go in there thinking we're going to win this game. I mean, they didn't have a great record, although Lexi's doing a great job with them, and I think they're a team to watch in the future for sure. But you guys, I think it helped you to get behind in that game, because it proved you could make a comeback. And then the Lake George game was the next day or a couple days after. So now you had that experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. And even with the Glens Falls loss, that kind of showed us okay, we need to step it up. It was early in the season, and I think from that loss we bounced back and played the best we've ever played, basically.
Right. I mean, I was usually I'm pretty close to the dugout, being that we were at Moreau Rec. I sat up at the bleachers for the championship game, but I was right near your dugout still. And yeah, I think last year when Olivia hits that home run in the first inning, you guys are in big trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that at all. I mean, you just mentioned it yourself. You guys were, calm, relaxed, not, a lot of game left. It didn't seem to bother you as much.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was thinking that also. I feel last year it could have been a completely different outcome, because that two-run home run that happened right at the beginning of the game. We would have come in heads down, we can't come back from this. But we actually, I think we were just all right, let's go now. Stay calm, but let's do this. And we came back in the next inning and we scored 1, I think, and then we just kept chugging away and we were able to secure the win.
I mean, everybody has for years talked about the Granville and Whitehall rivalry. Now they're going to be playing football together in the fall, and they they do cross country and some other stuff together. But it seems to me Lake George has kind of become your softball rival, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely are, over the last couple of years, it's definitely been with them. I think a couple of years before I was on varsity, it might have been Fort Ann or whatever, but it's kind of it kind of trickles throughout the year, what the best teams are kind of, and Lake George has really been up there these past few years.
Well, high school sports is very cyclical, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes around. So whoever the rivals are, whoever the teams that are kind of hot right at that time.
Exactly.
During when Kayla Bailey and Molly Bailey were in Fort Ann, they went on a 10-year run where they just dominated, and so it was Fort Ann and Lake George for a long time, and then you guys got really good, and then it became Fort Ann and Whitehall, and then now it's Whitehall and Lake George. So it just kind of goes in cycles a little bit. So so tomorrow, I mean, this won't be aired until after tomorrow's game is over, but you got Greenwich tomorrow over at Moreau Rec. It's going to be a challenge. They're out of that Wasserman League. They're a tough team. What do you think about that game?
Well, it's definitely going to be one of our hardest games we played. I played with basically all of those girls with travel. I currently play with Lily McAuliffe, the pitcher, and I know she just got out of Tommy John surgery, but she still is great. She came back. She might not she's still battling back and she's still recovering, but she still is a great pitcher. And I know that she's had a couple no-hitters I think this year. So it's definitely going to be a good fight. And I know that all the girls, I know Morgan Randall, Regan Mullen, Reese Otiello, Sophia Boyce, all of those girls, I've played with them all. They're all talented players, and even there's more that I don't know. I just I know that they're all talented in some way, in their own way. So it's definitely going to be a good fight. Only with not only even with hitting and their offense, but also their defense. I know is going to be also really great. So we're gonna have to come and bring our A game for sure.
Right, for sure. Now you mentioned travel ball. How big has travel ball been in the? I don't want to say the resurgence of Whitehall softball, but I guess the rise of Whitehall.
That was the resurgence of Whitehall. Well, we all kind of the juniors right now, and even Liv, a couple of the seniors. So we all that's how, and even Brooke, we all kind of came together through travel ball. And that's how I started playing softballs. I started going to batting lessons, and then they're like, "Oh, you should play for this travel team." And then I played with Jaden, and I currently play with Maddie. I played with Brooke, and I played with Vinna. I think that's all. So yeah, we've all played together. We all have some kind of travel experience, or we're playing right now. So that's definitely why we are talented. We've had all that experience. The one thing with travel ball, I think it kind of teaches it, it switches the mindset of players. Kind of what's the next play? How are we okay, I struck out, how do I come back from this? But if you don't play travel ball, you don't really get that mentality work, I feel.
Right. Back to my coaching days, the way we turned our program around when I coached at Pulteney was travel ball.
Yep.
We put together a travel team. We called the Vermont Lady Cats, and we just went out and started playing everybody, and we pretty much kept our team, for the most part, together.
Yeah.
And we got whooped a lot of times by these heavily.
It's experience and working together.
Yeah, we got beat bad sometimes by these heavily recruited traveling all-star teams, basically. But when we went back to our own league, it kind of made us say, we've played tougher competition than this.
Exactly. It's even just any playing all year round is going to help you improve. Playing only in the couple months we have softball versus playing, even if you're on a terrible team, it's going to make you that much better of a player.
Right,
you're still getting that experience.
Exactly. I think one of the things I love about you guys' team is you just have a balance to it. I mean, Maddie, her outstanding pitching gets a lot of recognition, and rightfully so. I mean, she's as good, if not the best, as there is in the area. But one luxury you have is to have Vinna Jensen as well. Not a lot of teams have two people they can throw out there on the circle.
And then we even have, she hasn't, I don't think she's pitched yet this year, Chloe, but she's an 8th grader right now. But when she moves up and we're gone, I know there's a couple 8th graders that were they'll be okay. The program will be okay with them because I know that they play travel. So travel is really progress throughout the years, and that's going to help us as a program to continue on this streak of
I saw Chloe she usually throws some warm-up pitches even before your varsity games, so I saw her throwing one night before one of the games I was at, and I'm like, oh, they got another one coming. And bad news for the rest of the coaches in Section 2 of the Adirondack League.
Yeah, she just doesn't have the experience behind her yet, but she's only in 8th grade, you can't really do much about that, and she had COVID or whatever, so once she gets up there, it'll be fine.
Yep, but you guys just have such balance all the way way through your order. I mean, talk about some of your teammates.
Yeah, exactly. There's not one person that when I'm up there, I'm not like, oh, I'm nervous. Like I know that anyone can hit on our team.
Yeah, you got a lot of power hitters. I mean, you can hit for some power. Vinna hits for power. Maddie hits for power.
Yep.
Ava's had a fantastic year this year. I mean, just been swinging the bats tremendously. And we talked about Olivia's home run last year against Lake George.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't think that little girl can hit?
I know. You wouldn't think she'd have the power, but she could. She could hit the ball over the fence at any place at any time. You know, she's got the quick bat.
And then, like even like Brooke, she can lay down a bunt or she can smack one into the outfield. And even Brady, she's been hitting really well lately. I know a couple times she hits them right to the person, but they're great hits. You know. Right. I'm trying to think who else, but like everyone can really like hit the ball. There's not really anyone that I'm like, ooh, like I'm nervous right now. Like they can either hit or bunt. Like I'm not like I know that they can get on base. Right.
I mean, like an opposing coach has got to look at you guys' lineup and say, where's the easy out? And they can't find it.
Right. Exactly.
There's no easy. You know, I mean, I one time called Chloe the best number 9 hitter around.
Oh, no, that was Jaden. That was
or Jaden maybe.
Dangerous number 9. So Jaden Hughes.
You know my writing better than I know.
Yeah. We always talk. We always say like, oh, Jaden.
The dangerous Jaden. Yeah, I remember
that.
Yeah. You know, so one thing I wanted to talk about is your dugout antics.
Oh.
I wrote about it. I'm probably going to write about it again at some point. But your dugout antics, I think as a coach, former coach, maybe who knows what the future holds, but a former coach right now, being loose and relaxed is the best thing you can do. Being uptight and being so nervous and being so worried about making a mistake, it's hard to play well. You guys, you got to go with the Mimas, mashed potatoes.
She got us.
Where does all this come from?
Well, okay, so the Mima thing is something that we had in school. We would say it in like arts classes. Every person around us hated it. Like every teacher, everyone. We would always be like, "Oh, my Mima taught me that." They signed, like all this kind of silly stuff. And I don't really know where the vegetables came from, but
vegetable chance.
The vegetable, I don't know where that came from, but it just started one day because it's like. They started saying pumpkin or whatever, and then it just went through every single vegetable and fruit or whatever. But the one thing I think with those is like, yeah, it's silly, but also like it really brings us back to like just having fun, and just like that's what the game's all about, is just having a good time, being with your friends, and that's why we all joined in Little League, was to be with our friends and have fun, So I really think like it kind of is like, yeah, we're in a championship game right now, but like we're just having fun, like let's just like there's no like there's some teams that are all business and like. Yeah, they're winning, but are they having fun? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But we're winning and we're having fun.
Yeah, well, you guys cracked me up, that's for sure. With the night that you guys got going with the vegetable chats and meat ma's mashed potatoes and all that. I was thoroughly entertained. I mean, you guys are a great team. But if you weren't a great team, I still would have walked away thoroughly entertained after that game.
I don't even the Meemaw thing. My friend he does this like crit cut thing, and he made me this shirt that said Meemaw's Corn Fest on it. I don't even know where it came from, but we just started saying it one day.
Yeah, right. It was great stuff. Great stuff. So just to wrap it up here, one thing I want to say is a thank you to you and your teammates. I mean, you guys have made me feel like a part of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I get out there
I always love when you're like, oh, he's here. Like, what's the story tonight?
So I get out of the car at the parking lot at Moreau Rec, and they all start yelling my name, and I'm just like, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel like your work's being appreciated and that they enjoy that you come to the games.
I'm always like 8 a.m. I'm like, all right, where's the country sports?
Yeah, right. And then the Hartford game, you guys got me in trouble though. The Hartford Fort Edward game.
I wasn't there that game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. So you guys are out in the circle. And they're like, 1, 2, 3, Keith!
That's funny. I missed it. I wasn't even there.
And being that I'm a Hartford guy,
you're like, ooh.
It's all in good fun. They were just joking with me, but they're like, what? And then their coach Jackie said something about, the girls weren't really exactly too happy with that. I trained a lot of those girls. I used to run a Sunday night clinic over there and used to be the varsity coach there at one point.
Traitor.
So they're like, traitor. He's not a red and black and blue with the Fort Edward in there guy anymore. He's a maroon and white guy now. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah, you're in the middle.
But no, you guys are great. I mean, it's nice to come to the games and feel like that it's appreciated that you're there. And
the one thing with us is I feel like we're just one big friend group.
Yeah.
Like we just can talk about anything. We have fun. We just joke around, whatever,
Yeah. I can see that.
We've literally been playing with each other since we were on these Little League fields, like forever. Like Ava's mom just posted this Facebook post, and it's like, "Let's go, girls!" And it's like every single embarrassing picture of us from like 12 view.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, hopefully you guys will have a great game tomorrow. Like I said, this won't air until after tomorrow, but hopefully when this airs, we'll be looking at maybe Section 2 Class C champions.
Maybe. Let's hope.
We get by this one tomorrow against Greenwich over at Moreau Rec, and then you get Lake George or Chatham. Any, do you prefer not to play Lake George again? Doesn't it really matter? You just want to be in the championship game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get by Greenwich and go from there.
That's the thing, is it shouldn't really matter to the team. It's just like a matter, like, well, we can't control the team, but we can control us.
Right, exactly. I think that's a excellent way to put it. So,
yeah.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hopefully still going on Thursday. And like I said, maybe by the time this airs, we'll have a Section 2 Class C champion softball team here in Whitehall. All right, Blake, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. We finally got this done. We've been talking about it since like January I think, of basketball season. Yep. So that's going to wrap it up for the NYVTmedia Sports Show for today. I'd like to thank Austin Crozier, producer and cameraman. Job well done, as always. And of course, our sponsor, Greenwich Ford at the Traffic Circle, Route 29 and Route 40 in Greenwich. Make the switch to Greenwich at Greenwich Ford. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Until next time, I'm Keith Harrington.